So, what is sustainability? Usually we think about climate, and certainly the climate crisis is the most urgent problem that we face. But sustainability is about much more than that. The most common definition that we use today is from the UN Brundtland Commission, which defines sustainability as development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. We also look at sustainability as consisting of three main elements, the so-called 3E approach: environment, economy, and equity. The three are connected to each other, so when one of them is out of balance, we can't have a sustainable life. So, for example, you can't fix the environment at the cost of the economy, or you can't have economic development at the cost of society, of equity. So when the three of those three elements are in balance, that's when we have sustainability. And here I want to introduce you to one man who calls himself an accidental environmentalist, who noticed that the equity part in one aspect of life here in the United States was out of whack, and he called attention to that problem. And he actually stumbled into this accidentally. He was trying to help his wife, who was engaged in a lawsuit against a landfill, and asked him to help her. And he did some research, and what he found was staggering, that 82% of predominantly African American neighborhoods were near dumps, near garbage, and they only constituted 25% of the population. So he looked beyond the Houston area where he found that statistic, and he saw that a similar story was repeated across the United States. And that turned Dr. Robert Bullard into the father of environmental justice. That became his life goal, to get that equity part into balance with the economy and also the environment. And he's still at it decades later. He says it's not a race, it's a marathon, and he will pass on the baton to the future generations. At this point, I'd like to invite you to listen to a podcast by Broken Ground, featuring an interview with Dr. Bullard, who tells us the story of how he became an accidental environmentalist.